Today is going to be one of two videos. I was supposed to put this out yesterday. It is now 1:22 a.m. on Sunday. So it's coming out today. And later today there's going to be a Notion video on merging databases that I'm really excited about. But for this, I want to talk about Red Gregory and 2021 goals, and also just like a look back at 2020. Now, this video is not supposed to be like entertaining. This is mostly for me. I kind of want to do this once a year, just to look back at every single year and hold myself accountable for the next year's goals. So that's what this is. It might get a little like, there's some interesting stories I guess I could get into that are more personal. If you're trying to get more into like who I am as a person, okay. If not, there'll be a video in a few hours, a Notion video. So basically, Red Gregory. I started Red Gregory in 2019, November of 2019, which was a month that was pretty hectic for me. A lot of emotional trauma. So I had this domain, but we'll get to that. I had this domain, redgregory.com, that I had bought in 2015, and I hated it. I regretted it immediately because it sounded like a used furniture store, and I was not trying to have, I wanted it to be like, when you buy a domain, you always have this thought in your mind where you're like, this is going to be a business, How would this sound as a business? Well, it sounds like a used furniture store. So I didn't like it. I sat on it for like years. And then I finally got this job for a Facebook clickbait website. And I don't mean that to be like I hated working there because it was clickbait. I thought it was a great job. Like, I had a great time. But it was like, it's hilarious because it was literally the most clickbaity Facebook page, like, imaginable. And I wrote copy for it, and I wrote the clickbait. So there I kind of learned like what people click on and what people don't click on. And that's what kind of like introduced me to the world of the internet. At that point, even like in 2015, I wasn't too familiar with this place. Like, I wasn't familiar with YouTube as much, or like SEO. I didn't know what that meant. I don't know how I got this job, like, honestly. But yeah, I got this confidence because I knew like the back end of like how to get viewership, and like I thought I knew that I wanted to get a domain and make my own Facebook clickbait. That's what Red Gregory was going to be. Facebook clickbait. It was going to be a cash grab. Like, I thought I had a brilliant plan to make money. Didn't happen. Actually, I don't know if it was Red Gregory or another website that actually got me fired because this is not going to get me hired anywhere, but I got fired because I was using their tools to help with my website to get viewers. Anyway, fun fact, I was a terrible employee. I also plagiarized at that place. God, I was going through it, like, in other ways at the time. And I got fired, and that's around the time I got Red Gregory, the domain. And fast forward to 2019, November 2019. I'm trying to make this exciting. Maybe if I like make lots of hand movements. Again, this is not supposed to be entertaining. This is literally how I'm getting to this point in time and my growth. And I just want to compare this every year. So, November 2019, I faced a lot of death in my close circles, a lot of funerals that seemed to be happening all at once, which is a lot of fun. No. And I remember I thought about Red Gregory, and I felt like this weird, like I need to like get started on something. I need to like start my life. Like my reaction to that grief was I need to start appreciating life more and start getting my life on track. And at that point, I had been like not doing the right things. Like I was doing things that I don't know if how open I want to be, but I wasn't doing healthy things, and I was hanging around people that also were not healthy. And around 2019 is when I decided, I didn't change at that point for sure, but I decided mentally that I was going to change. And that's when I started with Gregory. That was like the start. It sounds odd because like what I'm doing here is just like technical tutorials. And it's weird to say that like doing all of this helped me like get healthy. Like that it's absolutely nuts to say that because it just has like no connection. I'm not talking about mental health on this channel. I'm not talking about anything else or like bad habits. I'm just talking about a program. But on the back end, that's really what it was doing. It was really helping me have a purpose and like have goals. It's really all it was, is to keep my mind off things. And between November 2019 and the spring of 2020, so many things happened. I sort of hit rock bottom, and in a lot of different ways. And this location in particular, the one we're in, really helped me out. And it is a place where I got Wi-Fi because I didn't have it. That's why I'm here now. I'm here to get Wi-Fi. Like, I'm not in the same place as I was then, but anyway, continuing with the timeline, November 2019 to the spring of 2020 is when my website just skyrocketed. Like it catapulted into, like, quadrupled the viewership, basically overnight. And it was a bit odd to deal with. Like, it's not like I got millions of views on my website, but it was like, it was enough to get, like, start getting ads on there and start really, like, starting something. And that was really, such a high point. Once, like, April came around and the whole coronavirus thing, I lost my job. So the fact that this was going up and this passion was starting to be realized and then like something else was going down was such a bummer, but it helped me get through that as well. Yeah, spring of 2020, everything really started going off, and I decided that maybe I should start a YouTube channel, and I didn't have the right equipment to do so at the time. I had this place to go to at night, which is nice, and I could like use Adobe. They have a whole Adobe suite. But I didn't have the right camera. I had a pretty shitty Canon camera. It was a DSLR, but like it was from years ago that I found in like the basement of my dad's place one day. Like that was it. It shot 1080, but it didn't really. Like it was, to me, it was very grainy. So the first investment I made into this channel was this camera that I'm using right now. And this was a last minute camera. I was gonna invest in a lot better camera. If you watch Ali Abdaal, which I enjoy watching, he talks about equipment and putting money into equipment and really putting that investment in there. And I agree, but I think there's a certain point where you shouldn't spend too much money if you don't have it. And that's kind of the last minute decision I made. I ended up going from like, I forget what I wanted at first, but it was maybe like an $800 camera to this camera. Like camera people are gonna be like 800, okay, whatever. I went from that to this Sony ZV-1, I think. It's like literally for YouTubers. Like it's corny. It's like the package had a YouTube logo on it. And I just thought, well, that's one thing I'm doing. So that'll work, right? It's still not the best camera in the world, and I'm still kind of upset that I like did this monthly plan for it. I gotta pay an extra $40 a month. But you know, hopefully next year, you know, I'm sitting here with a nicer camera and just I don't know, just a better direction for this place, and I'm able to say that I started a few things. So speaking of the future, I'm thinking of a few things. I'm thinking of continuing with like technical tutorials on programs, obviously expanding to other programs more legitimately though, like actually starting like tutorials in other programs and talking about them more. I also want to like have more fun in Notion and do more like fun builds. I also want to like cut down the time I'm spending in these videos. Like they're too long. I need to make them more brief. That's a pretty easy fix that I can't seem to make. But yeah, I need to stop talking so much and just like make a really straight to the point video. I also want to start a life learning series. I want to start a life learning series of like small snippet videos that are like small, right? Like 5-10 minutes. Mostly because I sat down earlier today and turned on the camera and just started talking about life learning, and now it's like I got nothing to do with this content. I need something to do with it, so I guess I'll turn it into a series and start releasing videos. Yeah, also another goal for 2021 is to update my newsletter. I still use MailChimp, which is a bit like, I don't like how it looks. It's the free version, and it's, it doesn't look very sleek, you know? It's like, it's not a nice feel. It looks a bit spammy when I send it to people. In fact, when I send myself test emails, like it tells me that I'm sending myself spam. So like I need to figure that out. Clearly not super technically inclined, believe it or not. So I need to update the newsletter, I need to shorten my videos, I want to make more content about more programs, I just want to like polish everything. Also, I want to try to look at analytics less, and I feel like this is something that I have such a hard time with. I am so obsessed with analytics. I'm so obsessed. In fact, this past week, I had a dip. This is the first time I went down in my Google Analytics graph went downward. And it's the first time it did that. And I was like, excuse me, but that's not the direction you're supposed to be going. And I started getting in my head like, am I not writing the right content? Am I not doing it right? Which is so dumb. Like, it's not that big a deal. And I do this with everything. I do this with YouTube as well. I do this with like the dislike button. Girl, you have 99% positivity on this video. Why are you concerned about the one dislike? What the hell's wrong with you? Like that's something that I need to stop doing. Like getting in my head about like why did this person dislike it? Or this critical comment is like why did they say it like that? You know, it's like who cares? I think personality-wise, I don't usually care about those things, but I think when it's on the internet, you tend to care a little bit more because it's like it's something you've made and you've spent time doing for free, and it feels like this attack on you, and this makes me seem like I'm so bitter, but it does. It feels so bad to get dislikes, and it like sounds corny, like you can't handle social media or something, but like who really can actually handle it? I think we're all kind of just pretending. Anyway, I can go on and on about that. So we're gonna care less. And what I mean by cares, I don't mean like do less, but just literally care less. And just make stuff and just publish it and leave it at that. If things go well, things go well. If things don't, things don't. And just kind of view life that way. I think that's it. I don't know if I shared too much. I'll cut some stuff out if I did, but that's me. If you wanted to know about me, I mean, this was a really calm conversation. This is literally the conversation we'd have if we were, like, meeting. I have not spoken in any other way other than the way I usually speak. So, for people that emailed me and asked me to be more personable, this is what you would probably get. It's not the most entertaining. But yeah, I'll probably never do this again. Maybe do it again next year. Unless you want this. You want me to just sit down and talk. I doubt anyone's gonna say yes. So that's about it. Those are my goals. That was the whole year. That was the journey of Red Gregory and where I'm gonna go. It is so late. I have not been up this late in a long time. I might even edit this video before I go to bed. You know, let's be crazy. Let's be crazy. I might actually edit this video before I go to bed because I'm a psychopath. Alright, I'll see you guys in a few hours with another video, a Notion video, and I don't know if I'm going to put this on YouTube or Vimeo or something and just like embed it into my newsletter because I don't know if you guys want this. I don't know if you want this. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.